Hey everybody, welcome to PowerModz. We're going to make some changes to this Land Cruiser here. I have a lot of viewers in Australia and parts of the world where everybody enjoys these trucks. These are beasts. Very good vehicle, very tough. A trained Tamer sent me these coils, actually these ones right here. It's a new design by them. They came out last fall, and these are their smart coils. I'm going to show you how to install these. I'm going to tell you all about them while I'm doing it. I've already installed them on one side, and I was curious to see how they might sag compared to the old ones that I had on here, and you know what, I don't really notice any difference at all. Not really sag, but I just wonder how they carry the load. So you can see that there's not really much of a difference. These are another aftermarket type of spring. The performance died off quite quickly a year into them, and you know what, I hadn't really even driven the truck very long, so wasn't happy. Now it's time to try these Tamer smart coils. I don't have my hoist set up yet, so we're going to do this old school. My old trusty jack. And you know what? It's not that hard to do. This is how I used to do pretty much everything in my driveway, just with this old jack here. I usually just take the wheel off the ground. If you're from Australia, you like your 4x4s, you've seen one of these. Every off-roader should have one. Make sure you chock your back tire and put the emergency brake on as well. I'm just going to put another little chock underneath that front tire. You don't want anything to move. And don't forget, you know, I'm not a mechanic. If you don't feel comfortable doing this kind of thing, make sure you get somebody else to do it. At a shop, this shouldn't take more than an hour. It should be less than that. I understand shops need to make their money, right? And I don't have my compressor set up yet either. Don't judge. One thing you're going to have to do before you try to lower this front end is you're going to have to disconnect your shock here. You're going to have to undo the bottom bolt. This is all I do. Watch this here. Now things could move a little bit. You got to be careful. You're just going to take the slack off that spring. Now for safety's sake, usually use your floor stands. I don't have them here. I'm just going to use this big block of wood. It's under there. Anything falls, it's going to catch that. Don't rely on your jacks to hold this truck up. What we're going to do, since I don't have a spring compressor, I'm going to use this pry bar here, and my other cameraman, Jamie, he's always helping me out here. He's a good lad. He's just going to give this a tug when I get this up. Hold on. Okay. There we go. I'm not quite sure how I got those in by myself in my driveway a few years ago, but I managed to do it. Oops. Get that out of here. Don't need this. Don't need this spacer anymore. Get out of there. On your spring perch, there's a little spot there. Make sure you put this part of the coil onto it. Oop. There you go. There. Just reattach my shock while I'm in here. Makes life a lot easier. If you really think about it, all this makes sense. Now this coil spring, equal spacing between all these coils, equal diameter of the coil the whole way, or the wire you might call it. It's a very heavy duty spring, and you're going to feel the bumps on the highway. On the little roads, on the smooth roads, you're going to feel it because it's such a heavy duty spring. And I do feel it on this truck, there's no doubt about it. Now with these smart coils, you're going to notice a difference. Because of this tapered section up here, it's going to absorb those little bumps, those little daily driver type of bumps, if you will. You're not going to notice the road as much. But when you get off-road, you still got the nice thick dimensional wire down here to take up the big loads. all my mates down under. I have a lot of them. I talk to a lot of guys down there. Great bunch of guys. I get the phone calls, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey mate, 3 o'clock in the morning my time. Wondering what I'm doing. But for any of you guys who don't know what that is, look behind me here. That's what we use to get around in the winter around here. That's our snowmobile. And I know all you know what it is. I'm just playing with you. But we don't use dog teams, sled dogs anymore to get to school. We use the snowmobiles. Ooh. Take out our trusty block of wood. There we go. There. Now that didn't drop at all. That's great. Can't wait to try this out. I think there is only one thing left to do. And take this beast out with these new Tamer smart coils. Give it a test. I think I've never driven a clutch before. Actually, I'm pretty surprised about this. I didn't think it'd make this big of a difference. I don't have any sway bars on this truck on the front or the rear because I do a lot of off-roading and I don't want them binding things up. So it's always a little wishy-washy on the roads. It's not like that, not near as much when I swerve with it. I know the cameraman's going to be all over the place, but it's pretty wild, especially even on braking. It's very stable now. It's quite impressive. Love this truck. That's your Tamer smart coil install. Took me about 40 minutes. Very easy to do, guys. Like, not a problem at all. If you don't feel comfortable, get somebody to do it. It's going to definitely increase your comfort level in your vehicle when you're driving, just on these nice little roads. And then off-roading, you know what? I got to go try that out right now. I have to thank you for watching as usual. Make sure you go to terraintamer.com. Check out all their other cool products. I've used them all over this truck, inside the transmission and the rear end, all kinds of stuff. Great suspensions. I got to thank them as well for coming on board. Love this truck, never fails to impress.